guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. My name is Shelby. Today is January 30th, so also happy House of Shadows release day by Sarah J Maas. I unfortunately have not read the Crescent City books yet, but for you guys that have and are excited about the third book, happy release day to House of Shadows. So that is very exciting for all of our book readers out there today. Anyways, today I thought I would do a February TBR video of what books I will be reading in February. And I thought I would just talk about them a little bit and just show you what books I will be reading that are on my physical February TBR. So let's go ahead and get today's video started. Okay, I am planning on reading, I think, hopefully 5 books in February, but might be 4. It depends. A lot of them are gonna be romance books this coming month because it is Valentine's, and so what a great way to start off the holiday by reading romance rom-com books this month. And yeah, so I thought that would be fun to get into and take a break from fantasy reads for a little bit, because I have been reading the whole ACOTAR series this month. And I'm also have been making another video of the ACOTAR series that's kind of separate. So hopefully I'll be finishing that in the next couple days, and then we'll get started on the romance books. The first book I am planning on reading in February is called The Worst Best Man by Lucy Score. Apparently this book has been out for a while. I thought it was new just because it came out with a new cover. I'm actually reading this for book club. All of us girls talked about what book we wanted to read, and we thought it would be fun to read a romance book, obviously, because like we said, it's Valentine's month, and so what a great way to read this for book club. And I'm actually excited about this book. Look how cute the new cover is of it. I'm very excited because this is also kind of wedding related, and as you guys know, I am getting married this year. And so this is about, I'm just gonna read the back of it and go from there. So, rich, check, vapid, double check, entitled, not enough checks in the world, but maid of honor Francesca takes her duties seriously. Kidnap groom, she's got this. Rude attendees, just watch her handle them. So when she meets the best man with the big attitude and even bigger checkbook, yeah, there's no way she's gonna let that judgmental jackhole ruin her best friend's wedding, no matter how sexy he is. At least that was the plan. Aiden does not do long-term relationships. He's busy ruling the world, and he has yet to find a woman he can get along with for more than a month. Conquering the unconquerable is basically his bread and butter, and he hasn't met a challenge that he can't win, but Francesca, the smart-mouthed girl from Brooklyn, may just be his downfall. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun romance, kind of like wedding book, since it is about the best man and the maid of honor. And if you guys have read some Lucy Score books, of course, a lot of her guys are grumpy, and so this character, Aiden, is gonna be one of those grumpy men in this book. So I'm very excited to read it. I love her writing style, and I've heard good things about it, and one of the girls actually in book club has already finished it and said it was really good, and she's not a big romance reader, so I'm very excited to start this soon after the ACOTAR series. But that is my first book that I'll be reading in February on my physical TBR. The next book I have The Seventh Husband of Evelyn and Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've heard so many good things about this book, and I'm kind of obviously on the late train. I've had this on my physical TBR for about 2 years at this point, and now I finally got this book for Christmas, and I'm finally gonna get around to reading this book, so I'm very excited. It's definitely Taylor Jenkins Reid, one of her most popular books that she has ever wrote, so I'm very excited to read this. And this book is about aging and reclusive Hollywood movie icon Evelyn Hugo is finally ready to tell the truth about her glamorous, scandalous life. But when she chooses unknown magazine reporter Monique Grant for the job, no one is more astounded than Monique herself. Why her? Why now? Monique is not exactly on top of the world. Her husband has left her, and her professional life is going nowhere. Regardless of why Evelyn has selected her to write her biography, Monique is determined to use this opportunity to jumpstart her career. Summoned to Evelyn's luxurious Manhattan apartment, Monique listens in fascination as Evelyn tells her story from making her way to Los Angeles in the 1950s to her decision to leave show business in the 80s, and of course the 7 husbands along the way. Evelyn unspools a tale of ruthless ambition, unexpected friendship, and a great forbidden love. Monique begins to feel a very real connection to the legendary star, but as Evelyn's story nears its conclusion, it becomes clear that her life intersects with Monique's own tragic and irreversible ways. So, yeah, this book sounds very interesting. I think it's going to be really good. Like I said, I've heard really good things about it, so I'm very excited to read this coming month. I don't know if it's exactly a good February read, but at least it's still kind of like a romance book, and just kind of knowing more of what's going on with Evelyn Hugo. And yeah, so I'm very excited to read this one as well. The next one I have is Checkmate by Ali Hazelwood. This is a young adult rom-com book. So this is kind of her first, I guess, young adult book, but I've also kind of have heard reviews from Destiny when I watch her videos, Destiny Swindale. And this was not her favorite book of Ali Hazelwood, and didn't think it should really belong in young adult books, so we'll see. But I'm excited to read it, and it is signed by Ali Hazelwood as well. There's her autograph. I got this actually the same day as I got Iron Flame because they did come out the same day, so I was just gonna go ahead and get it. And like I said, it was signed for no extra cost, which I was really surprised. But this book is about Mallory Greenleaf is done with chess. Every move counts nowadays. After the sport lead to the destruction of her family 4 years earlier, Mallory's focus is on her mom, her sister, and the dead-end job that keeps the lights on. That is until she agrees to play in one last charity tournament and wipes the board with notorious king killer Nolan Sawyer, current world champion and reigning bad boy of chess. Nolan's loss to an unknown rookie shocks everyone, especially Mallory. What's even more confusing, his desire to cross pawns again. What kind of gambit is Nolan playing? The smart move would be to walk away, resign, game over, but Mallory's victory opens the door to sorely needed cash prizes, and despite everything, she can't help feeling drawn to the As she rockets up the ranks, Mallory struggles to keep her family safely separated from the game that wrecked it in the first place. And as her love for the sport she so desperately wanted to hate begins to rekindle, Mallory quickly realizes that the games are only on the board, the spotlight is hotter than she imagined, and the competition can be fiercely attractive and intelligent and infuriating. So yeah, this book sounds cute, it sounds interesting, and it's obviously kind of like enemies to lovers type book. And the book cover is just so cute. This is just perfect, I think, to read for February because the color of it, and it's got the heart. Yeah, this is gonna be a good book, I hope. And I hope I'm not too disappointed. I hope I'm just not disappointed in this book in general. But yeah, I'm excited to read Checkmate by Ali Hazelwood. The next book is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood as well. And this is a signed copy by Ali Hazelwood. So I'm very excited to read this book. I've had it on my TBR for a good while. I just have not gotten around it. And I thought it would be perfect then to read in February as well. And I think this is actually one of her most popular ones now. It is newer, but I think a lot of people really enjoyed Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. It is another STEM book too, so that's even more exciting because I do love her STEM readings as well. This book is about the many lives of theoretical physicist Elise Hanaway. Have finally caught up with her, but by day she's an adjunct professor toiling away at grading labs and teaching theorodynamics in the hopes of landing tenure. By other day, Elise makes up for her non-existent paycheck by offering her service as a fake girlfriend, tapping into her expertly honed people-pleasing skills to embody whichever version of herself the client needs. Honestly, it's a pretty sweet gig until her carefully constructed Elise first comes crashing down because Jack Smith, the annoyingly attractive and arrogant older brother of her favorite client, turns out to be the cold-hearted experimental physicist who ruined her mentor's career and undermined the reputation of theorists everywhere, and he's the same Jack Smith who rules over the physics department at MIT. standing right between Elise and her dream job. Elise is prepared for an all-out war of scholarly sabotage, but those long, penetrating looks not having to be anything other than her true self when she's with him. Will falling into an experimentalist orbit finally tempt her to put her most guarded theories on love into practice? So yeah, another kind of enemies to lover books. That is what Ali Hazelwood does write. It's always the guy is the enemy, and then yeah. So that basically sums it up on the Ali Hazelwood, but I'm very excited to read this. I will probably read obviously The Worst Best Man first, and then this one next because I have been so excited to read it, and then probably Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and then Checkmate by Ali Hazelwood. So I also have one more if I do get the chance to get that far in February. So let's get to the last one. The last one is Assistant to the Villain. This I know is not a romance book, but the ones I just showed you are basically the only romance books I have left. So yeah, this is Assistant to the Villain. It is a fantasy book. No surprise there, like I said, and it does have red sprayed edges on it, so I am excited. I kind of got the special edition of this book, and it is by Hannah Nicole Meyer. I think I say her last name right, but yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun read, and it's about allowing family to support Evie's stage employment status isn't just important, it's vital. So when a mishap with Renee Dawn's most infamous villain results in a job offer, naturally she says yes. No job is perfect, of course, but even less so when you develop a teeny crush on your terrifying, temperamental, and undeniably hot boss. Don't find evil so attractive, Evie. But just when she's getting used to severed heads suspended from the ceiling and the odd squish of an errant eyeball beneath her heel, Evie suspects this dungeon has a huge rat, and not just the literal kind, because something rotten is growing in the kingdom of Renadon, and someone wants to take the villain and his entire nefarious empire out. Now Evie must not only resist drooling over her boss, but also figure out exactly who's sabotaging his work and ensure he makes them pay. After all, a good job is hard to find. So I guess this is kind of a good book to read because it does have romance in this book, where she is trying to not fall for her boss, it sounds like, but also it has that fantasy aspect with the action and trying to make sure their work and their place is not getting sabotaged and just ruined. So I'm very interested to read this book. I've heard good things about it. I think it's gonna be a fun little read if I do get to it at the end of February, because I do have 4 other books to read, and I normally read 4 books a month, almost 5. It just depends how big the books are. So yeah, those are all my books on my TBR. Once again, these are all the books I plan on reading in February. So these are all the books I will be reading on my February physical TBR. I'm very excited to read these, and I'm really mostly excited to get into this one this month because I do love Lucy Score and her writing. So we'll see how that goes, and I'm very excited to talk about that in book club as well. So yeah, those are my February physical TBRs. I thought it would be fun to do these obviously once a month and go through what books I do try to plan on reading each month. Sometimes I splur in the moment and will read a different book for that month because I'm more in the mood for that than maybe what I have picked before. So I think these will be a good pick for February, and I'm very excited for the new month that will be starting here in a couple days. And oh, this shirt right here is from the second Iron Flame. I make it sound like a movie. This is from Iron Flame, the second book of the Fourth Wing series, and it's the Ryerson House. I am obsessed with this crew neck, basically. I got it from Etsy. If I find the shop, I'll link it down below in the description, but I did get it for Christmas, so I'm obsessed with it. I wear it so much just because Fourth Wing is my favorite fantasy book and basically my favorite book of all time, so I just had to get some Fourth Wing merch, but I thought I would just point that out. But yeah, that's it for this video. I will definitely plan on doing more TBR reading months of what I'm planning on reading for that month, and then more videos are just coming out in general, like day in the life videos that I should be coming out here in the next couple weeks that I filmed a couple weeks ago. So I'm gonna release this one on Sunday, February 4th. That is my goal. And then the next one will be the day in the life that I filmed last week. So yeah, that is it for this video. And please also subscribe to my channel and also give this video a thumbs up. And as Harry Styles says, treat people with kindness. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.